So what the heck is timecode and how does it change our work as stage managers? My name is Kent and this is your half-hour call.
Attention cast and crew, this is your half-hour call. Half hour to the top of the show. Half hour.
What is up, friends, and welcome back to Half-Hour Call. Today we are talking timecode and the 5 things you need to know about working on a show that uses it. Timecode is used in many commercial theaters and entertainment venues. The more commercial a producer is, the more likely you are to encounter timecode. This is because commercial entertainment has longer runs usually and tends to emphasize consistency in giving their guests the exact same experience day to day, week to week, month to month, and maybe even year to year. But what is timecode? Timecode is a type of data that counts off time using hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Other boards can listen for a specific hour, minute, second, and frame as a signal to execute a cue. Essentially, timecode automatically triggers cues to a stopwatch that can automate pretty much anything that is run by an electronic board, including auto fly systems, deck automation, lighting, sound, pyrotechnics, and more. Sometimes it has a separate dedicated show control system, but every time I've personally interacted with timecode, it's simply run through the show's QLab file or a backup QLab system. Timecode is generally used to run non-stop sequences. This might be a musical number like many Broadway shows use, or the entire performance like often happens with cruise ships and theme parks. Timecode may also be used for some technical elements, but not for others. For example, cirque shows may use timecode for lights and sound, but physically call automation cues that impact performers' acrobatics and must be done precisely in tune to what that actor is doing. But what do you need to know about working with timecode? Well, let's break it down. Number 1, the show has to be kept to time. This means that any live musicians will need click track and in-ear monitors of some sort, meaning that the musicians are playing to a metronome that you most likely can't actually hear, but is keeping them perfectly in sync with the running timecode. Number 2, tech looks a bit different. You aren't calling every single cue, just starts of large sections. This means that the designers will need more programming time in advance, but it will likely cut down on actual tech time to go back and practice the call for a complicated section. Unfortunately, this also means that it's harder to pick up from the middle of a song or a sequence, and that may impact your workflow as well. If you have to restart at the top of the number each time, it becomes a lot more crucial that you knock out as many notes as possible before backing up and restarting. Number 3, you'll probably need to add a timecode check to your preset time. This is essentially like a headset check, but for timecode, making sure that everything is talking to each other and working properly. The technicians will generally disarm or disable their devices so that the cues don't fire. The QLab file is played with timecode, and every board operator will confirm that their board is receiving timecode. Number 4, calling cues may look and sound a bit different. Instead of signaling for something to happen, you're often providing a warning that something will be happening. For example, you may provide a 5-second countdown to automation moving. In this case, you'll usually have a monitor that displays the timecode so you know exactly when to start counting down. Number 5, backups, backups, backups. You need to be aware of the backups. Some boards have backup timecode features so that in the event that you lose timecode from your primary source, they will continue to automatically count. This can present additional challenges for emergency show-stop situations, as the board ops will need to make sure that their boards are no longer running timecode. On the other side of the coin, if you do lose timecode entirely, you might need backup call script pages with all the timecode cues written in, so you can call it like a traditional show in a pinch. However, shows that rely heavily on timecode may not be able to be called in a traditional manner, so you may end up canceling the show instead if the issue cannot be fixed. Have you worked with timecode before? How did it change your job as a stage manager, and what were the challenges that you faced? Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. My name is Kent, and this has been your half-hour call.
Find the perfect gift for the stage manager in your life at the Half-Hour Call store. Now with free shipping on all domestic orders. New products added frequently. Visit KentJamesCollins.com/store to shop now.